What do you picture when you hear Fairlady? If your mind goes straight to vintage pinup girls, think again. We're talking about a timeless sports car that has captured the hearts of gearheads and casual drivers alike. So let's make your blood pressure rise and feel the adrenaline running through your veins as we take you on a journey through time. Be prepared to experience how Nissan went head-to-head with automakers to create one of the most legendary cars of all time, the Z. The journey of the Nissan Z began in the late 1960s when the automaker decided to take on Toyota's 2000 GT sports car. And so, in October 1969, the original Datsun 240Z was born. This two-door, two-seat, rear-wheel drive sports car was a performance bargain. With a 151 horsepower, 2.4-liter straight-six engine, a 4-speed transmission, and fully independent suspension. It impressed the customers with an economical price of just $3,526 and became a runaway success with more than 160,000 cars sold in the US alone in just 4 years. With its 0 to 60 mile/hour acceleration in the 8.0 second range and a top speed of 125 miles per hour, the 240Z quickly became the darling of car enthusiasts. The 240Z was followed by the 260Z, which had a larger 2.6-liter engine, and then the 280Z, which came with a 2.8-liter engine and electronic fuel injection. By the time the first-generation Z car production ended, Nissan and Datsun had sold over 520,000 cars worldwide. The Nissan 260Z marked a new era in the sports car world with its introduction of a spacious four-seater model and a powerful 2.6-liter engine. The car was designed to offer both style and performance, appealing to sports car enthusiasts who were looking for a daily driver that could keep up with the demands of their active lifestyle. However, with new bumper standards mandated by the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the 260Z's sleek design and performance were slightly impacted. The new bumpers, while necessary for safety reasons, altered the car's appearance, adding bulk to its once slender lines. Additionally, the change in weight distribution and aerodynamics had a negative effect on the car's handling, reducing its responsiveness on the road. Despite these setbacks, the Nissan Z series continued to be a spectacular sports car and a staple in the automotive industry, known for its distinctive style, speed, and reliability. A car that made your heartbeats of the American market. In 1983, the Z31 generation of Nissan Z cars arrived, turning heads with its sleek bodywork and striking angular lines. It was built on a new chassis, and the styling was just phenomenal. The 300ZX was offered two engine options, a naturally aspirated 3.0-liter V6 and a turbocharged version of the same engine. This was the first production V6 engine to come out of Japan and was available in a 4-seat body style with a Targa roof, as well as a 2-seater in other markets. In addition to these engines, the Fairlady Z offered several other engine options in its home market, including a turbocharged inline-6 and a naturally aspirated double overhead cam 3.0-liter V6. The 300ZX was more aerodynamic than its predecessors, with a drag coefficient of 0.31. But unfortunately, it was also heavier. The 1986 300ZX Turbo was the first Z car to feature an Australian-spec suspension tune, which helped improve its handling and dynamics. By the midpoint of its production run, over 60% of the 300ZXs sold in Australia were equipped with an automatic transmission, making it a true grand tourer. The interior was also improved with a more modern dashboard, better materials, and more comfortable seating, although some have criticized the quality of the switchgear. By the time the Z31 generation of Nissan Z cars was retired in 1989, the company had built over 350,000 examples of the car, making it one of the most successful Z cars of all time. The fourth generation of Nissan Z cars was introduced in 1989 as a 1990 model year vehicle, and it marked a major turning point for the Z car line. Larger, more luxurious, and more powerful than any Z car that had come before, the Z32 was a true grand tourer, designed to be driven long distances in comfort and style. The bodywork was even more aerodynamic and modern than the Z31, with a sleeker, more aerodynamic shape that further emphasized the car's performance credentials. Under the hood, the Z32 was powered by a 3.0-liter V6 engine that made 222 horsepower, paired with a 4-speed automatic or 5-speed manual transmission. The engine was capable of propelling the Z32 from 0 to 60 miles an hour in just over 6 seconds, and the car was capable of reaching a top speed of over 150 miles per hour. The interior of the Z32 was a major step forward as well, with higher quality materials, more modern technology, and a much more driver-focused design. The seats were comfortable and supportive, the gauges were large and legible, and the dashboard was dominated by a high-tech center console that housed the stereo and climate control systems. But what's really interesting about the 300ZX is its involvement in various motorsport events. The 300ZX was first introduced to the IMSA Racing Series in 1989, and it quickly became a fan favorite. With its powerful engine, advanced suspension system, and sleek design, the 300ZX was a force to be reckoned with on the racetrack. In 1994, Nissan introduced a specially modified version of the 300ZX called the 300ZX IMSA GTS that could produce up to 700 horsepower. The car was built to meet the specific requirements of the IMSA GTS class that allowed for heavily modified sports cars, including the addition of a massive rear wing and a front splitter, which helped to improve its downforce and overall performance. With racing legend Steve Millen behind the wheel, the 300ZX IMSA GTS went on to win the IMSA GT Championship. It was an incredible achievement that cemented Nissan's place as one of the top manufacturers in the IMSA Racing Series. The 300ZX's racing pedigree didn't go unnoticed in the gaming world either. It was featured in the Gran Turismo video game series, which introduced a whole new generation of gamers to the car's impressive performance and sleek design. One of the reasons the 300ZX was so popular among racing enthusiasts was its handling and performance. The car's chassis was designed with a focus on balance and stability, which allowed it to take tight corners and handle high speeds with ease. Despite its impressive performance and luxurious appointments, the Z32 suffered from a lack of reliability, and it quickly earned a reputation for being a finicky, difficult car to own. The high price of the car, combined with its reliability issues, limited its sales, and the Z32 was retired in 1996 after just 7 years of production. In the late 1990s, Nissan was on the brink of bankruptcy, and the future of the Z car was uncertain. But once again, Nissan Z came with a bang and introduced its mind-boggling car in the market that blew away the minds of technology enthusiasts. After a long wait, the Z car returned to American shores in 2003 with the introduction of the Nissan 350Z. With a design inspired by the roots of the Z car, this new coupe was built for speed and performance. It was elegantly styled by Nissan's California-based design team. The 350Z used Nissan's naturally aspirated 3.5-liter VQ Series V6 engine, producing 287 horsepower and a healthy 274 pounds-per-foot of torque. Both 6-speed manual and 5-speed automatic transmissions were available, and in 2004, a convertible variant made up for the lack of a T-top roof style. 5 different trim levels were available, including base, enthusiast, performance, touring, and track. The latter included such performance features as a limited slip differential, Brembo brakes, an aerodynamic kit with front and rear spoilers, traction control, and 18-inch wheels. In 2005, Nissan announced the Track Edition and a new 35th Anniversary Edition 350ZS with manual transmissions, and it would receive an upgraded version of the existing VQ engine, making 300 horsepower but slightly less torque at 260 pounds per foot. In 2006, all 350ZSs were given a subtle facelift with new taillights and some interior changes. And in 2007, all 350Zs were given another revised engine, the VQ35HR. Now, with 306 horsepower, 268 pounds-per-foot of torque, and a higher 7,500 RPM redline. This engine necessitated more space under the hood, resulting in a subtle bulge to clear the intake plenum. A Nismo 350Z was marketed in the final 2 years of production, 2007 to 2008. Nismo editions were seam-welded for rigidity, with Yamaha-tuned suspension, unique 4-piston front, 2-piston rear Brembo brakes, lightweight rays, forged wheels, and staggered 18-inch front, 19-inch rear sizing, and a special Nismo exhaust system. Some 1,607 Nismo 350Z models were produced for the North American market, a fraction of the nearly 150,000 cars sold in the region in total. Global production numbers are elusive. The sixth generation of the Z car, the 370Z, arrived in 2009, offering a lighter and more rigid car with a larger 3.7-liter V6 engine. A Nismo edition quickly followed, with more horsepower, larger brakes, and sportier components. Over the next decade, the 370Z saw the introduction of several special edition models, including the 40th Anniversary Edition and the 50th Anniversary Edition. And now, after a decade, a new chapter begins. With the unveiling of a new Nissan Z car, the company is once again embracing the performance heritage of the Z car line. Nissan has retired the 370Z and introduced the 2023 Z. With a 0 to 60 mile per hour of 4.3 seconds, it is the best version of all of the previous ones, with a new twin-turbo V6 engine, 400 horsepower, and a 6-speed manual or 9-speed automatic transmission. With modern technology such as a digital gauge cluster and an infotainment system, the new Z is poised to take the classic Z car into the future. Inside, the new Z welcomes modern technology such as the standard 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster and a standard 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system with a bigger 10.8-inch unit optional. While the new Z still carries a front-engine, rear-wheel drive layout, it also features a much-needed improvement in chassis rigidity. This allows for sharper handling, improved ride comfort, and increased safety. From its humble beginnings as the Datsun 240Z to its latest iteration as simply Z, the legendary Nissan Z has come a long way and has left an indelible mark on the world of sports cars.